Alright, what is up, boys? So today we're back with another video, and this is going to be a good one because this is the top 5 things I believe EA have to do in order to make UFC 5 a new and improved game, to be honest, because everyone knows it's probably in the worst state of any UFC game, and it's probably the worst UFC game out of all the releases, um, especially from 3 and 4, at least, the two more recent ones. Um, so yeah, let's just get straight on into it. First thing being tracking, and this for me is probably the most infuriating one because they have been aware of the problem since day one, and they have been nerfing them. But they've been underdoing it, and they've been underdoing it again and again and again. So what that means basically is they are nerfing stamina, but they're not doing it enough, and they're not doing the right things. So twice I believe that they have nerfed long-term stamina. Long-term stamina basically being, obviously the grey bar. Once you start punching, the grey bar kind of, if you miss big strikes and all, it'll slowly chunk down. You know what long-term stamina is. And then obviously, sure, they've nerfed that a few times, but it is still not enough. And also then on top of that, they have never touched short-term stamina. So a lot of people are complaining about block breaking right now, and honestly, that is even worse than UFC 4 for a couple of reasons, but the main one being short-term stamina, because you're able to throw so many strikes and your short-term stamina not go down to a very low point, to the point where you're going to be punished with and caught with low stamina, and you actually can't throw that many punches in quick succession. So I'll have somebody and I'll throw, let's say they throw a 4-piece, and I'll maybe dodge the last strike. Then they'll move back a second, then I'll think, alright, I'm going to go pressure them. Then, bang, their stamina's up like that again, and they tag me with another 2-piece and drop me, and I'm thinking that's such bullshit. And then on top of that as well, to do with short-term stamina, again, it goes up too quick, obviously. As I was saying, it goes up too quick, and it doesn't go down enough. So, you can throw too many strikes and then not go down very much. And even if you do manage to throw a lot, it goes up near instantly. So yeah, stamina as a whole, they need to increase long-term stamina as well. Tax on whiffs, takedown denials, double bails need removed. That's just an honourable mention, a very honourable mention, just because it's a big issue, but it's a small thing just to kind of, nip in the bud, yet they still haven't done it, and that's probably arguably the most infuriating thing. And then on to the second point here, I do believe that EA really need to get on about tracking. They really need to fix it. In the most recent patch, many of you will know, they did apparently nerf, or they did apparently fix ducking tracks, so you won't be caught ducking as much. I have found this to be the case slightly, but I do still get caught on a lot of ducks by high accuracy strikers, the likes of Connor and stuff like that. I'll try and duck on a hook, and I'll get caught on the forehead or something like that, and then they'll be able to tee off of me even further. And then as well as that, one thing that they haven't addressed, so the thing that they did address, they didn't even do very well. And now the things that they did address being stamina, or sorry, being the duck counters, they didn't address slip counters and pull counters, and also ground and pound straights. So what I mean by that is the fact that I cannot slip properly without getting caught by an uppercut, a straight, a jab, and as well as that, I cannot pull counter properly without being caught with, a slip or I cannot pull counter without being caught with a hook or an uppercut properly. And as well as that, one of the most infuriating things is when you are in ground and pound positions and you try and slip a straight to survive, and it just tracks you, and then you end up getting knocked out. I mean, it's caused a lot of, kind of one knockdown finishes, which have always been very unfortunate, but they're ever so frequent in this game just due to the fact that you can't slip straight sufficiently. And also on top of that, now they've buffed ground and pound damage for the likes of high ground striking in characters in UFC 5. So yeah, really need to get on the track and ground and pound straights, slipping, pulling. Now onto the tour thing that I do believe, and this will kind of also come into the next thing. I also have to say they're kind of intertwined to an extent. Counter damage. Counter damage at the moment is very busted. If you'll notice, the likes of slip straights don't really do much damage. The likes of pull straights don't do much damage, and that is another thing that I was talking about, plays into the part of why pull straights, or sorry, that's another thing that plays into the part of why block breaking so broken, because you can't counter your opponent efficiently. Even if you try to, you get tracked, and even if you do manage to do it successfully, it doesn't do enough damage to be able to warrant them to stop. And yeah, so obviously, like I was saying, if you slip straight your opponent when they have low head health, it really does not much damage, and especially a pull straight. Since hook combos seem to be so frequently used in this game, you can start hooking and stuff like that, but as soon as your opponent just pulls straights, it's like you're getting tickled by a feather, to be honest. It's just completely bullshit. And as well as that, now they've also nerfed body damage, so also you can't hit the body, and that's also another thing that plays into the stamina. Not only was body damage not very viable because it didn't do much stamina, it also didn't do too much damage. Now they've also taken the fact that away it does damage, so like it does not, it does still, stamina's broken, and now body damage does nothing, so it's kind of a lose-lose. But yeah, as I was saying, about counter damage, they need to buff the damage slip straights, pull straights, and various strikes. Body shots need to be buffed again, but that just, you know, plays into just body shots and damage in general. So the fourth thing now I'm going to say is vulnerability. If you've noticed, they were talking about it in the trailer, and they have followed through, unfortunately, and they've done ever so since. Vulnerability seems to get nerfed, and what that is obviously being caught in the middle or after you've missed a big strike and being punished effectively for it. You cannot do that as much anymore. You know, when you duck a head kick, you don't really get KO'd ever. You mostly get stunned or dropped at most, unless obviously your opponent's very low health. And then as well as that, you can also see the fact of sorry, what I was going to say was obviously the fact that you just can't do it very well anymore. It's just, you know, your opponent ducks into uppercuts, they can just eat it. One of my biggest pet peeves in this game is when you duck into an uppercut, it seems like you kind of spring back to your feet instantly, like it kind of like resets your head, and then you can blitz off to a combo instantly, because a lot of things don't hit reaction in this game. Last game, a lot of things were hit reactioning, so that caused you not to be able to kind of, you know, just pounce on your opponent mid combination after you've just been struck. But obviously this game not being the same, so it's quite unfortunate. So yeah, I'm really hoping that they do kind of fix that vulnerability. They've nerfed it on lunges, sways, ducks, everything you can think of. There's just not as much punishment for going for anything and being actually, as I said, punished for it. You know, even body shots recently, whenever you go down to the body now, uppercuts don't do near as much damage, and I just think, what's the point of making raids anymore? It's just going to be sock'em rock'em sock'em robots, because you're not rewarded for actually making good raids and making good counters and just making a good play. So yeah, I really hope that they do fix that, and yeah, get that kind of sorted out. And now lastly, onto the final thing. One honourable mention here as well. Back steps and side steps have no vulnerability on them as well. Kind of like, in the sense that, you know, back steps especially, and also for the counter damage. When you pull on a straight, it does nothing. You know, as well as that, like, it's not just pull straights do nothing, but if I pull on a straight and I get hit with a straight, it does nothing as well. That needs buffed. But that's just vulnerability, and also counter damage in general, I feel as though. And then side control and grappling being one of the biggest problems for me as well now. Instead of EA kind of took the easy route out with, I feel as though, in this way, because I think EA, everyone was complaining about side control, which is fair. They were also complaining about a bottom half guard being too, you know, kind of busted and stuff like that, way too easy to hold. But however, and then as well as that, I also, you know, side control, as we were saying, and that did get nerfed, but it got nerfed into the absolute oblivion, and they didn't nerf it in the way everyone wanted to. Everyone thought increase the transition speed, so it's just harder to get to the noils. But, and maybe remove negative GA, but then they just added power transitions into side control that take no stamina, and they're near instantaneous, so you can just make it a side control instantly, and you cannot actually hold anyone down efficiently and be able to do damage anywhere other than top mount. But now, without the threat of side control, everyone can just kind of be worried about a top mount, and then if they get into side control, move back to half guard or move into sprawl even. So yeah, they really need to do something about side control. I think remove the power transitions or make them a really big stam tax, so you can only go for them, you know, maybe once or twice a fight at most if you're in a really sticky situation. And then also, as I said, speed up the transitions so you don't need to use them all the time, because if you're good enough with building GA, you're good enough with, you know, being able to just kind of make your transitions quicker and have good timing as far as escaping side control is, you'd be able to get out. And yeah, that'll be that. I obviously think that they need to fix full guard as well, but that's been a problem for I don't know how long. And as well as that, they need to fix bottom half guard. Too easy to hold. Here we go though. End of my 1v1 me fight before I end off the fight. This fight had lots of money on the line for a lot of people. I'm against Winter XJ on Usman, and I start pounding him out, and I'm able to find the finish in the third round. This was a good fight overall. Got a little bit cheesy in the third round, but however, it wasn't too bad, you know, and I was able to at least battle through the adversity. Kamaru Usman looks like Freddy Krueger's just had his way with him, the amount of blood on him. But yeah, able to pound him out there and back flat. Nice. I think I was winning the third round anyways, and the takedown kind of secured it for me, or the knockdown into the take. Forget, I think it was a spear possibly. Either way, happy days. Able to walk away with that victory. But yeah, good fight nonetheless. But yeah, that'll be the video. I hope you've enjoyed. If you have liked, a like would be appreciated. Please drop what you think EA need to fix. And then, yeah, subscribe if you haven't already as well. And turn on that notification bell. Appreciate you all for watching once again, and peace out.